Great. So first, let me introduce myself. My name is Christy Hunston. I am the president of Jennie Johnson. You probably have seen my face and my name in emails and on the website. I am a real person. I know Jennie Johnson is an AI career coach, but there are real people behind this tool, myself and Kevin being some of those people. So I have really enjoyed getting to know our users. One of the biggest roles I have within the company is customer experience, like making sure that this product is as useful as it can be and beneficial, for you in your job search. So I'm really always in touch with customers and looking for feedback and direction so that we can make our product even better. So Kevin, do you want to say a couple words about yourself as well?
Yeah, sure. So I'm one of the co-founders, and I've been in the recruiting and job board space for a long time. I've been a recruiter. I've built a recruiting company, and then I've built job boards. And through this whole journey, what I've discovered is, candidates aren't really put first and foremost in the process. It's the employer. So for the job boards, they're looking for employers to sponsor jobs. So they're doing what the employers say. They're suggesting jobs to people that they're getting paid the most for. Recruiters, the same thing. They're only working on a small amount of jobs, really trying to chase a fee from a recruiter. And so with the advent of AI, we built Jennie Johnson because this is a tool that is purely candidate focused, where we don't take employer fees. We don't take sponsorship of jobs. We scrape the internet and try to find every job out there for candidates and present you jobs just purely based on relevancy to you, and then give you all of these tools that we think, and I truly believe, will help you be more successful in a job search. So that's having jobs that are relevant to you, looking to see how your resume matches up to it, getting direct company contacts to those roles, and doing a lot of the work for you that before AI would take a lot of effort or a lot of money to pay a career coach to do this for you, to research every job, write a new resume, find contacts, write messages to them. So Christy's going to walk through a lot of it. I think we're going to do a lot of Q&A here, so if anybody has questions. But to Christy's point, there are real people behind Jennie Johnson. Even though it is an AI career coach, we are very close to this. I'm in the inbox of Jennie Johnson. If you email her, you'll likely get a response from me or Christy or somebody from our team. We don't do individual career coaching, but we do these meetings every week to give you guys an opportunity to hear from us directly, see how the product works, and then ask us questions. Because I really want this product to be successful based on your guys' success. So we're open to hearing any of your questions, comments, feedback. So
great. Okay, let's go ahead and jump in. I'm going to share my screen. Okay. And as Kevin mentioned, if you have questions at any time, please either raise your hand or put a note in the comment box, and we will get to that. Okay, so I've started here on the homepage, jenniejohnson.com. And so through this page, you can search for jobs. You can search our ever-growing database of job openings. As you can see here at the bottom, we're showing currently 14 million job listings. We get these listings by scraping job openings from all over the internet. So we're able to provide you more openings than you might find just on LinkedIn or on Indeed, because we're pulling things from company websites and recruiter websites as well. So we celebrate the fact that we are one of the biggest job boards out there. I think we have a question.
Oh, no, we have a note taker.
Just a note taker. Perfect. Okay, so I'm going to start by searching here. Please also note that the process I'm going to go through, you can get through by clicking on a job in the Job Digest email as well. So there's two ways to go through this process. One is through the homepage where you're searching. The other is through the emails that you probably get from Jennie Johnson, which includes job openings that are relevant to your background. So I'm going to put in, a marketing director in New York. This could be anything. It just tends to be what I search for. And the first thing I will get is the listing of the job openings. And I can filter these if I want by date or relevance. I can look at all jobs or remote jobs only. And I can also adjust the location of the jobs that are being shown to me. So as you can see, the first job here is highlighted, and then on the right-hand side are the details. And these are the details that we pull together using our AI technology from the original job description. So we're trying to make the information easier to consume, easier to scan, so you can decide quickly if this is something that is of interest to you. If you want to see the original job description, we always have this linked here. And if you click on this, a pop-up will appear. And that way you can see how the job was originally explained. So again, we have a summary, bullets, we have an overview of the company, and then we have some tips on things you should be considering if this is something that would be of interest to you. And that's in this how to land this job section. Now, the most important feature, the most helpful feature on Jennie Johnson is Power Apply. See this here, and it's also at the bottom of this job listing. So if I click on Power Apply, a pop-up will open up, and this includes the 3 components of Power Apply. The first is the resume analysis, and then we have application links and company contacts. So first, let's talk about the resume analysis. What our technology is doing here is taking a look at the job description compared to the resume that you have on file, and it will outline for you what's missing from your resume. And it starts with 1. It shows 1 if you are currently using the free Jennie Johnson services. It will show you, I think, 6 or 7 if you are a paid user. And so it lists all of those things, like I said, that are different from the job description and my resume. And this will allow me to either update my resume myself based on this information. I could decide that maybe this role isn't for me. Maybe I don't have most of this experience, and therefore I shouldn't apply because my chances might be pretty slim. Or I can have Jennie Johnson use this information and update my resume for me. And I will show you how that works. But you can see this button here at the bottom to allow me to do that. So that's resume analysis. And I think this is one of the most beneficial tools because it gives me or the job seeker so much power to make a decision on how you want to proceed with this particular job opening.
Yeah, I think just reading over that in general, if you have a conversation with the employer, they're going to ask you questions like this. They're going to ask about gaps in your resume compared to what they require. And so just a quick read over of this, you'll be pretty prepared for a conversation you have with them.
Yep. Okay, so the second tab in Power Apply is the links to apply. So one really important thing to keep in mind is Jennie Johnson never applies for you. And so what we do instead is we provide you with the links that we have found online where you can apply for this position. So you can take a look at the various links and decide where you want to apply. Usually there's a company contact link. Usually there is a LinkedIn job posting, an Indeed job posting, things like that. So you will find those links, and it looks like, it's still working here to pull something up. I did get a notification that my internet is not so strong today, so maybe that's why it's taking a little bit longer, but I'll show you this on another job. And then same for company contacts. Company contacts is going to pull together a list of people within that company that are relevant to the role that I want to apply for, to allow me then to reach out once I have applied and introduce myself. So I'm going to go ahead and click out of that, and I'm just going to go up and pull up another Power Apply so I can show you
I
this.
just wanted to hit on that real quick. So like we are running a live search we're searching hundreds if not thousands of sites to find the best ways to apply to that job. So ideally the company careers page or some other job boards. And then in addition, we're taking the job and the company and finding the best contacts at that company that you should reach out to. And so given the job market right now, which is super tight, it's the worst I've seen in 15 years I've been in the business. So sending an application just through a careers page or LinkedIn or Indeed usually doesn't do it. You're competing with hundreds or thousands of applications. So sending a quick note to someone on LinkedIn or send them an email through our company contacts here will really make you stand out. And yeah, Christy, your internet is slow because mine's struggling. So
okay, well, no big deal, because I can show you this information in another spot. Okay, so those are the three components of Power Apply. Again, resume analysis, application links, and company contacts. The application links is always free. So we don't want you to feel like, oh, I have to pay for this service in order to apply to the jobs. That's absolutely not true. So application links are free. As I mentioned with the resume analysis, that one key point is always shown to you whether you have a free plan or you pay. And then company contacts is part of the subscription plan. So we'll talk about that in a little bit. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead now and let's pretend I clicked on resume rewrite, which I showed you at the bottom of the Power Apply. For this particular job that you're seeing here from Harley Davidson, I've already gone through this process, so I'm just going to click on View My Report. And this is what will show up when I click on Resume Rewrite. So what happens is we basically take all of the information from Power Apply, and then we also provide you with a couple of other tools to help you apply to this job, and we put it all in this report. So at the top of the report is the information that's missing from your resume. We talked about this as part of the resume analysis. It also goes through, some key points as to why the company would value your experience or, would interview you based on your experience, and other reasons why they might pass on interviewing you. And so this information, hand in hand with the info above, again, can help you determine if this is a job that you are qualified for and should apply for. So next is the resume that has been rewritten, has been customized based on the job description. So this takes my personal resume and applies those things that are in the job description that I might not have called out already. And so the format of this resume is an ATS, or an applicant tracking system friendly format. So we know that the technology that's scanning resumes at companies, needs the content to be organized in a simple, easy to scan way. And so that's why we use this formatting for the resumes that we rewrite for our users. I think that's an important point. The next thing to know is with this arrow, I can download this resume in various formats. And I always recommend that you do that and you edit it even more if you see fit, right? If there's certain words you'd like to change, you want to add a little bit of your personality into it. Maybe there's something that Jennie Johnson doesn't know you have experience in, right? Because it wasn't in your resume. Then it would be important for you to add it yourself. Like Jennie Johnson's technology can't see what you haven't given it as far as your experience. So that's a really important component.
Yeah, we can expand upon it to a certain degree, but we can't make it up. And just maybe I shouldn't talk about this, but in the pipeline, we're working on a process where we can take additional information before we do the rewrite. So we'll go through the process, but say, hey, maybe you missed something here in your resume. Do you want to add it before we do the rewrite? But right now, always take a look at this rewrite, modify it as you see fit before you submit it to an application.
And then underneath the resume, it talks about the changes that have been made. That way you can really see clearly the updates that have been made in the resume, and it shows which resume was used to do the rewrite. Underneath the resume is a cover letter that has also been written to meet the needs of this job description, and it takes your resume into consideration as well. This also can be downloaded and edited. And then there is an email message that has been written with the same kind of rules applied to it. Again, also downloadable. We then have the job details listed here, really just to make sure that all of the information for this job can be found in one place. So you're not searching around for the information that we share with you throughout the process. So job details, company overview, interview questions. This will help you prepare for an interview. So it includes questions that the company might ask, in addition to questions you should think about asking in an interview. And then we have the application link. So this is something I was trying to show you in Power Apply. And you can see the places that I can apply for this job are here. And again, I would go through and absolutely apply on the career website. And maybe I would also apply through LinkedIn, but I think the career website is a great place to start. And then we also have the networking links. And so these are people within Harley-Davidson that I should consider reaching out to on LinkedIn to introduce myself, send my resume, let them know that I have applied for the position and why I am a great candidate. And hopefully when I'm looking through each of their LinkedIn profiles, I might find something that we have in common, whether it be a club or maybe we went to college in the same state or a similar division or played each other in football, who knows, right? But I'd be looking for something that would allow me to make a personal connection with them in addition to a professional one.
I think if you hit that drop down on one of those, I think you will see, you see the bullet point that says approach. We give you a little message that you could use. So you could quickly go to that LinkedIn profile, copy this message and send it off to her. And it's a pretty targeted, just short little message to let her know that you're interested in that role and that you'd like to talk about it. And I really believe that just taking a couple minutes to do this extra step is going to make you stand out. I can't reiterate it enough of how tough the job market is. And just sending applications through LinkedIn, Indeed, it's not, for the most part, it's not working very well. They're getting lost. And so we want to give you every piece of information we can, but it does take a little bit of extra work, a couple minutes more of sending these notes off as well as the application to get noticed on at a higher percentage.
Any questions before we move on from the Power Apply and the resume rewrite feature with the report that's delivered?
Yes, my question is, currently I'm a certified residential appraiser for real estate. And as you know, that market's pretty tough these days because there's not enough sales, to for appraisals to be written. So I'm looking, I put in my resume, I also put my former field, okay, which was medical assisting. So whenever I divide that up like that, should I just go with one or the other? Or should I put two of them together, so to speak? Is the software going to send me, jobs for both?
If you put all that information into your profile, we We'll try to mix it, but it's tough. We don't have separate profiles. So yeah, currently right now we don't have separate profiles. So it's more than likely going to target one industry rather than the other. It's hard for us. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't know if Christy maybe has another piece of advice, but
what are you seeing in your job email right now? Is it covering both, or is it focusing on one?
Well, it is kind of covering both, but not exactly, you know, and that's the problem. I just have to decide on one or the other. I guess I need to do that. You know?
Yeah, I would say try that and see if it gets better. The other option I would consider is if you have multiple email addresses, maybe create 2 profiles that way. So you have one profile with one email and a different profile with another.
Yeah.
That would be the way I would get around it.
And you don't even have to create a whole new email address. So if your email address was beth@gmail.com, if you just create a new profile with beth+1@gmail.com, that's still going to come into your main inbox. So you'll see a job alert for the appraiser. And then if you build another profile for the medical assistant on this email, then you'll get that as well.
Right. Yeah. I would rather go with, you know, like, well, never mind. Doesn't matter. Yeah, I'll do that. I'll split them up because it makes it easier. That way I'm not having to sort through it so much because a lot of information is coming in. I mean, you know, data analysis is kind of my thing, but you know, this needs to be a more efficient search than is what is happening for me right now. So now is this is going to be recorded, right? Can you send me a link to that so I can listen again and go back over it? Because I do have a friend who I think would be very interested in doing this.
Yeah, and I think the other thing that you could do is if you use your email address for the appraisal, but you go in here into the search and then you type in whatever it is, if it's medical assistant, or you know, there's probably something a little bit more specific. If you type that in there and do a search here, you can see what job openings there are, and then it will allow you, if we're to do a resume rewrite or provide the analysis, it will ask you to upload. It can ask you to upload a different resume so that you can match the information that you're getting from that resume.
Well, I think it's better actually to go with the service, you know, to pay for it and to do the subscription that way. That'll also save me a ton of time, and it's going to give me that much more information at my fingertips, so to speak. So I don't have to go out looking for it on my own. I mean, I have a lot going on.
Yeah. Well, let me talk about this since you brought it up, and it's a really helpful component of the service is the profile. So you see, I went to my account and I went to profile. And so this is where I can update the cities that I'm interested in jobs for. And I can include remote jobs. This is where my resume is, and I can edit this at any time. So if I'm focused on a different job, or I have more experience that I've included in my resume, I can upload a new file at any point. And then I also can update my career profile with certain keywords that are relevant to me, or maybe, you know, here I have a bunch of job titles that I'm open to in here, just so Jennie Johnson's Technology knows this is the stuff I'm interested in, and can send me job openings that are relevant to the information in my profile.
Now it's going to send for just on that last, it's going to send for all of those, right?
Yes.
If I was to put, it doesn't, it's the order that they're in, doesn't matter.
Right. Okay. Yeah. It pulls from everything. And so there's a couple other things that we can do in this account section. I can update my email. I can change my password. I can update the frequency in which I receive Job Digest emails. That Power Apply pop-up that we went through in the beginning, we started emailing those to users, which is so helpful, because if you aren't going to get a report for every job opening, you want to have that Power Apply information somewhere. So we email those to you now, and you can opt out of receiving those emails if you don't want them. And then you also can you can adjust your subscription on this tab. So you can change your payment information, you can change your subscription and cancel it. And it's very, very easy to do so here.
Okay.
The other thing oh, sorry, Kevin.
I sent in the chat, I will add a free credit to everyone's account who's on the call. So just email me and let me know your email address that you have an account with, and I'll add a free credit, even if you don't have a subscription. So you could try out the product yourself.
Great. Thank you.
Okay, so a couple other things in this account section that are really helpful. History. So this is a newer feature that we've added that I think is so good for all users. So it shows my job searches. Clearly, I've been searching for the same thing every time I search. And it shows all of my reports. So the reports that I have gathered for jobs that I'm interested in applying for. It shows my Power Apply history. This first thing was show all. I didn't realize that. I thought it was my searches. My searches are over here. So you can see we're keeping all of this information in your account, in your account section, so that you can feel more organized and keep track of the content you're seeing with Jennie Johnson, which hopefully will help you in your job search as well.
Excellent. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, we'll talk about pricing quickly and then open it up for more questions if there are any. So as I mentioned, there's a number of things that are always free. So when you sign up and you give us your resume, you will start to get Job Digest emails, and that will include the job openings that are most relevant to your experience. Of course, that's always free. When you click on a job and you see the description, that of course is free as well. And then, as I mentioned, we have one little component of the resume analysis that will show up if you are not a paid user. And then the application links are also always free. So if you want to use that piece of information from the resume analysis and update your resume on your own, you can, of course, then apply using those application links. So make it really easy. We also have a couple of subscription plans. So for $19 a month, you can access the Power Apply tools 5 times a day, which is kind of a lot, right? That's assuming you're seeing 5 jobs of interest a day. And then each month you get 3 credits that allow you to get your resume customized for one of those positions that you want to apply to. So you can do that 3 times in the month at this plan. Your credits always roll over. So if you don't use all 3, it rolls into the next month. And as I showed you earlier, it can be canceled at any time. And it's really, really easy to do so. For $49 a month, you get unlimited use of the Power Apply tools that we talked about. And then you get 20 credits a month to have your resume customized for a particular job opening. Again, you can cancel. You can also downgrade really easily from your profile. So if you want this 1 month, but you realize maybe you don't need it, you can go down to the standard subscription. You can easily do that. And then finally, if you're not interested in a subscription at all, because I know sometimes it's just one of those tedious things to manage, we do offer a single report cost, and that's $15 to get kind of all of that content that I showed you in the report one time.
The other thing I was going to say is, if you actually sign up for a standard subscription and you find that you're using it a lot right off the bat and you want to go to premium, shoot me an email. I would happily, and I've done this for people in the past, if you go to a premium, I'll send you a refund for the standard subscription, because then you go into a higher plan. It's not built into our system, but I know some people, all of a sudden, they find out, you know what, I'm using this a lot more than I thought. And rather than paying $19 and then $49 right away, just let me know, and I would send that refund to the standard if you upgraded.
Great. So that's really the overview that we have prepared. I know we've talked through it fairly quickly. Does anybody have more questions that we can answer. Like we're happy to stay on for a few more minutes if there's things that we can answer for people.
If oh, you going? Do you have a cheat sheet or how to use your service?
That's a great idea. You know what? We don't have a cheat sheet, but in the resources section, and I think we should find a way to pin this or something, Kevin.
Yeah.
Because right now it's not easy to find. I will send links to 2 videos. One is how to use Power Apply, and the other is how to use Resume Rewrite. One of them is 90 seconds, the other maybe 3 minutes. So they're very quick tutorials in which I'm walking through them as quickly as I can, but simply, you know, to show the functionality and how to use it. So I will send that out. I will send that out after. The other place you can get it, let's see if I can get to it quickly.
Yeah.
Oh, we don't have it here. Let's see. Yeah, I don't think I can get to it quickly. It's on the, not here. Okay, anyway, I will send those videos out after just so you have them. But a cheat sheet, meaning like a 1-page document that goes through it, I think is also helpful. So
we do have an FAQ page on the site that answers a lot of questions. There you go. There's your video.
Yeah. So if you go to a job and you see the Power Apply button next to it explains what Power Apply is. And then this is the Power Apply video that I was just referencing, but we also have one that goes through the full resume rewrite.
The one thing I wanted to address, just thinking about when people email us having questions, one thing people bring up a lot is expired jobs. And this happens a lot right now where they'll find a job, they're interested in it, they'll click over to LinkedIn or find the job somewhere and it shows that the job's no longer posted. There's a few different things that happen there. LinkedIn and Indeed are giving free job postings to companies. And then after a day or two, they take them down and ask them to pay to keep it sponsored. And they're not paying because they don't have the budget, but the job's still active. And so that happens about 60% of the time. The job's still open, but it's listed as expired. So I would say still reach out to the employer through the company contacts or through another application link and apply to the job. That little extra step of reaching out to them, letting them know you're interested, even if the job was taken down, even if they're in the process of interviewing people, if they see that somebody took an extra step and reached out to them personally rather than just applying to the job site, the job board, they're going to take that into consideration. And the other thing I hear a lot about is some people are looking to maybe just transfer to part-time or be a contractor and not looking for a full-time role, and especially people that are later in their career. I would say use our jobs as a lead source. So sure, they're listed as a full-time role, but maybe you're 60 years old and you're looking to transition to a contractor or a part-time position. I would still say to reach out to those employers, apply to the job, but then reach out to them and present what you could do in a part-time or a contractor capacity. And I think they would be likely to listen to it, especially when their budgets are shorter and they don't want to hire somebody W-2 if they don't have to.
Yeah, I had put on my that I was looking for just remote jobs because I'd like to relocate out of Massachusetts. It's a lovely state, but it's incredibly expensive to live here.
Yeah.
And most companies now are open to remote, and even if they don't list it as remote, I would say you could still reach out. Maybe there's a role that's perfect for you that's in Oklahoma and that can be done remote. Apply and reach out to them and present that to them. I think that it's worth a shot, especially if you have the skill set perfectly aligned with that role.
Yeah, I never thought of that actually, because I'm not moving to Oklahoma. It's just not happening.
Yeah.
It's just not. I need my mountains, and it needs to be cool.
Yes. Too many tornadoes.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's all I've got. Christy, anything else that you have?
I don't think so. As Kevin had mentioned earlier, we're always open to feedback. Also, if you have questions, you can email us. Our email addresses are in that invite for today. We can also, you'll get an email from me with this video, so you'll know how to, reach it back out to me, and I'll CC Kevin so you can see his email address as well. But we are here for you, and we'll help you in any way that we can.
Excellent. Thank you.
Of course. Thank you for joining us today.
Okay.
Yeah, thanks a lot. I really appreciate it. So, yeah, reach out anytime.
Okay. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
You're done. I'm gonna eat coffee.
You see the can?
Hmm?
You didn't see the can?
No, I'm gonna keep coffee. I left leftovers.